We got episode 4. We rolling into Aunties in the Blue Room. You understand me? Like the young homie said. Y'all tapping in with the homie 6, man. You understand me? We in the building. Hey, today we just having a candid conversation, man. We got the young artist, you understand me? Jared, Cinco, you understand me? You can go got them YouTube him and find all that information and listen to some of this good music that we listening to here. You understand me? Then we got my personal partner, you understand me? We got one of Phillies on, you understand me? One of my partners, you understand me? Look here, man, from back in the day, man, you know, we knew each other but didn't know each other, you understand me? But that's a story on another situation, you understand me? Then my partner Big Peez in the building, you understand me? Representing the Phillies, the country, the A, the Columbia, all type of shit, but you know, but you know, y'all up north, you know that nigga ain't lost that accent, so he'll feel it representative to death. You understand me? Yeah, man, you know. But shit, welcome to the Blue Room, homie. Goddamn they good goddamn folk with you. You understand me? We got all these young men in here. You understand me tonight? We just got them. Yeah, man, you know. Yeah, we just spread a little love. Yeah, man, that big business, man. Yeah, man, we just got them kicking a little shit. Okay, so me myself. I'm from Columbia, Georgia. You understand me? Born and raised. You know what I mean? Moved away probably about close to 15 years ago. Y'all see what we on? You understand me? We on we on it. Blue Room. You understand me? Aunties in it. You understand me? PTSD books. You understand me? We'll have a situation for those in a minute for you. You know what I mean? Stay tuned in. Stay tapped in. We got you. You got them. Stay locked in with me. Don't leave me. We got you. My man,
is a must read.
Hey, I appreciate you, cuzzo. I appreciate you, cuzzo.
You gotta read that jump.
Hey, man, we do what we can do, man. We do what we can do, Introduce yourself, Teddy folk. Where you from, cuzzo?
Man, I'm from Chicago, South Side. Moved out here 2015, 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? Went to Bergmar. After that, went to Fort Valley. Left Fort Valley about 2020. Been home, just understanding who I am as a man since then. Understanding my music and all the creative stuff I've been doing. Just been helping me build myself to be the man I need to be in the community and the world at the same time.
That right?
So that's just a little snippet about me.
Okay, cuzzo, tell these folks who we got, man. Let us know what's going on.
Peez is the name. West Philly, 52nd Street, born and raised. Moved down to Columbus, Georgia. Met this man right here, you know what I'm talking about? And moved up to Atlanta, then ended up running back into him. Down here, you know, just doing my thing, man. Trying to work every day, trying to enjoy life instead of chasing money and trying to grow up and, you know, understand how to live for the day and be appreciative of what I got.
Hey, I promise
Been
you.
on the chase for so long, and just you get to a certain age and just realize the chase ain't it. You know
the chase ain't it.
It's enjoying your life, having fun, enjoying your kids, enjoying your grandkids.
Hey,
you know.
So what they call you? Your granddad? Let them call you granddad? What you feel?
I'm grandpa, granddaddy, and papa.
Okay. I can go for it. I go for it. Yeah, mine just called me Pop. You know what I mean? You know, goddamn, I got 4 on running around. You know what I mean? It just called me Pop.
Yeah, I got 4 on running around. Got the 5th one on the way.
Hey, boy, look, they working.
5th one on the way. 727.
They working. They working.
Congratulations.
Any kids, young man?
No.
Hey, take your time.
Take your time. Ain't no
I love kids though, but I just say,
take your time.
The right woman, the right time, it all happens. But I ain't rushing nothing.
Yeah, man, take your time, John. Take your time. Ain't nothing wrong with it, John. Take your time, man. You know. Well, we in the Blue Room with the Aunties, man. You know, goddamn on. So we're gonna talk about a couple different things. You know what I mean? But we're gonna open it up. You know, we talked off screen about this here, and I told you, you know, this was gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked my young homie, like religious base wise, you know, how does he, you know, stand? You know, he would holler, you know, it ain't really just, you know, black and white with him. And I was like, oh, well, it ain't with me either.
me neither.
Okay,
religion is all over the place, right?
Okay. So, me myself, I tell you a little bit background about myself, and then we're gonna float it around. Okay, so, grandma and granddad were pastors in a church called Church of God. It ain't no religion. They just say they live completely by the Bible. It ain't Baptist, it ain't Methodist, it ain't none of that. They say they live clearly by the Bible. Go to my granddad at the house, you ain't got no TV. If you listen to the radio, it's church music. You understand me? You know, they call regular radio worldly music, stuff like that there. You know, by the time I'm 15, 16, my mama joined that church. And now, you know, my mama, my younger brother, my younger sister, they go to church at least a minimum 3 times a week. Now, my dad and I, he don't go to church. So that's like my scapegoat to not go to church too. You know what I mean? So I ain't never been a part of that church scenario, but everybody know me, you know what I mean? Oh, that's Pastor Justin grandson, you know, that's Sister Johnson's son, you know, like deal what it is, but I couldn't fly that way.
Yeah. On my end, like grandma was always in church, made us go. Mom was always in church too. So my great grandmother was actually the Baptist.
Okay.
No, it's one of them higher ones. I don't know.
Okay.
But in my upbringing, me and my brother was in the back of the church. You know what we doing? Sleeping.
That right?
Sleeping in the back of the church. Now, we always had that. People come to us and always be like, you have like this anointings of God always around you. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that, but I'm not robbing what y'all doing.
That right?
I've always had this, like, it's more than just this. It ain't just this. It's more than just that. And since I came back from college, like I was talking about in my story, I've just been diving deeper into that and just more into myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of my background with this.
Okay. What you got, cuzzo?
All right. I'm gonna give y'all just a little short snippet. I'm gonna try to give you a short story.
Give me the short story.
My grandfather and his best friend started the church.
Whoa.
Right.
Okay.
My grandmother went to church every day, Baptist Church, Millennium Baptist Church, 52nd and Parkside.
Okay.
My mom went to church all her life. I went to church until I was about, I kind of stopped believing when I was 8.
Okay.
From something that happened to me. I stopped going 12, 13 when mom was, you know, when you'd be like, mom, I want to stay home. Mom,
Right.
was going work to do.
Right.
You realize what the story was not to go to church.
Right.
Man, grandma was the hood grandma.
That right.
Everybody grandma.
That right.
Went to church, you know what I'm saying, stood by her husband, you know what I mean? My
Right.
mom grew up, went, you know what I'm saying, to the same church.
Old school.
Right. Grandma died when I was 8.
Okay.
Before she died, when they came and took out the house, you know what I'm saying, on the stretcher, I'm a little kid, you know what I'm saying, still remember sitting under the dining room table looking at it happen. My grandfather passed when I was 3 months old. My grandfather's best friend, Reverend Wall, came by the house, sat me down and told me, said, you got to pray to God. God's going to make sure everything's okay. God's going to make sure, you know, you got to, you know, stick with the Bible and praying, and, you know what I'm saying, God's going to bring your grandmother through it. Right. For a week, my mom always told me, I remember a little bit, but she told me, you can go outside and play. Hold up. I got to run upstairs and go pray for grandma. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Time to go to school. We pray for grandma. I was like a prayer warrior.
That right.
When they told me my grandma died, my mom told me this day that she saw my faith leave completely.
That right.
And I never really, you know, I've been searching, looking into everything. Hebrew,
Right.
Israelites, Islam, being from Philly, you know, it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
That right.
But to me, it was just, it wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Right.
I prayed for grandma.
Right.
Every day, every time. And then since then, I just kind of looked at everything. And I look at it as just as something that man has used to manipulate the situation.
That right.
How he wants it to be. I believe
right.
there's a story.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know what that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that story is.
You know what, cuz I'm a piggyback off of that. I believe that same type of situation, right? I believe it's a story. Do I believe the stories that I've been hearing songs? I think that this is how I feel about it. If you sat in front of the classroom and I told you something, and I told you to pass it all the way back to the other side of the classroom, by the time you get back to the other side of the classroom, it's gonna be a different story.
Yeah.
Than what I told you.
Completely something different.
Gonna be completely different. That's how I feel those stories are. But you know, I feel like preachers, You know, I don't knock them, but I feel like preachers is okay. I got a job, and people think I'm very talented at my job. I take my job very seriously. I study my craft. You understand me? So that when I walk in, I know what's going on. I ain't in the blind. I feel like a preacher ain't no different than that. You know what I mean? He studied that Bible. He knows that Bible very well. You understand me? And it just so happened the power of that Bible can really influence people. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
that is true.
you know, like I'm talking about with me telling y'all that background on how I came up. I ain't never joined the church, man, until maybe 2007. I joined the church. Fresh out of chain gang, trying to do the right thing. You understand me? I'm trying to stay away from the streets and the block and all this shit here. Trying to change my people, places, and things. You understand me? So I end up going to this church. I become a member of the church. And we getting the 10% faithfully. You understand me? I'm talking about, and some bullshit happened in the church. Well, I feel like had the dude been a man and came to me and said, listen, I'm running for political office. You know what your background is. You know what I mean? You know how these folk look at you around here. I can't really risk putting you in this situation right here, right now. Maybe we'll double back around on it later. But instead, I think he thought that the power of that Bible would just blind me to whatever, and I just stay a sheep following in the flock. You know what I mean? And keep getting my 10%. You know, like, I'm a whole different type of nigga. I really want to do something to you in this church and all, nigga. You understand me? But, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fall back. So I fell back, right? Just for the shit, I fell back. And then I got a bug probably about 3-4 months later. I need to go to church. I had been going to church faithfully every Sunday, goddamn, for about a year or so.
Missing a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, we need to hear this music. Let's go to church. Me and my wife fall off in the church. Now, your dad is the pastor. He know what went on. And everybody in this that know the situation, know that situation was fucked up, how y'all handled it. Okay. Your dad kind of put me in his sermon. Because I ain't no slow nigga. I had a 4.0 in college. I ain't no slow nigga. He kind of put me in his sermon, and he kind of mentioned, like, he made a piece of the sermon about, like, you don't let nobody stop you from coming to church type scenario. You know what I mean? That what the sermon turned into about. And I felt like that was targeted at me, and with that being said, now I'm looking at it from, like, why would he say that? You know what I mean? Okay, I know why he missed me in 10%. You don't give a fuck about my feelings. You missed that 10%.
Or your soul that they stand there talking about.
Yeah, you don't care nothing about this stuff. You're missing a piece of your son fucked up a piece of your revenue. So now you're trying to use the Bible to bring me back on in. You see, he couldn't do it. And needless to say, that was my last time ever attending that church. And then I'm like, my view of pastors is now like, okay, and this is going to sound fucked up, but I go to church now and I'm like, dictate what your sermon is how I tithe. If your sermon won't worth for shit, you ain't gonna get about $20. You know what I mean? Hey, look, if I didn't enjoy that shit, you ain't gonna get about 20 goddamn dollars. Now, if I enjoyed it, you might get you about 50 cents to $1. You understand me? But don't get it fucked up. I don't believe in tithing that way. You know what I mean? I just felt good. That's why I gave you. You did good at your job that Sunday. That's why I gave you that. You know what I mean? Goddamn, I tithe when I see folks on the block, because I can see you standing on that corner, goddamn, and I'm gonna give you some paper. You know what I mean? I can see you outside, fucked up, and I'm gonna pull over and give you some paper. You know what I mean?
That is righteous tithe.
Yeah, I feel like I tithe directly to the people. Right. You know what I mean?
And I think tithe actually is about what they say. It's not money.
Right.
It's taking care of your neighbor.
Right. Anything, it's going out your way to do something for somebody else where you really don't benefit. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what I stand on when it comes to that religion. You know what I mean?
That's a gem of it.
Yeah. I give it to somebody that really need it before I give it to a pastor.
Like you say, you had the idea of tithing, same way you just said. It started out being this.
Right.
But as it passed through this ear out of that mouth,
Facts.
this ear out of that
Facts.
mouth.
Yeah.
Now if you got ATMs
Facts.
in front of the shit.
What the hell you say?
The place of worship.
Man, y'all heard about the dude that held the damn church damn near hostage. Talking about we gonna close the doors, and he needed, I think what he needed, it's either 20 to 40,000
What? I ain't hear
that
about
he
that.
wanted. Man, I'm telling you, man, I don't want to speak wrong, but you can Google that shit. It's a pastor right now that's in a little smoke because now he's saying I ain't hold nobody hostage. I ain't say they couldn't leave. I just told the folks to close the door.
That's
But there you go. That's their word, that power.
It depends on who say that shit, because had a nigga like me said it, it's on robbery. You understand me? Or it's robbery. You understand me? You know, it depends on who say certain things. You know what I mean? On how they gonna handle it.
Personally, it's on robbery because me and you would have had a gun. When he said it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it could.
He had that tongue.
Well, yeah.
Manipulative tongue.
Man, come on, man.
Using the Bible.
They say.
Along with that manipulative tongue is the fact that people believe in his words.
Facts.
The weapon was the Bible.
Man, I'm telling you.
Anytime you weaponize that, it's a problem.
Man, come on, man.
The Bible can be the gun, but he's loading the bullets to shoot it.
I'm telling
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the stuff that's wild. Now I'm gonna give a little story. Recently, this happened probably like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And when I tell this story, I'm saying this just to spread my story, just simple as that. So, girl I was dating at the time, she wasn't in 100% faith in what we and her had to do. So she was like, I want to go to church. Now I didn't go to church in like 2-3 years. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'll go for you. First day we go, they anoint us with the cross when we go in. I'm like, okay, cool.
What kind of church this is?
It's like, it's not a big church. It's one of them like low key churches next to a gas station.
No, I mean, like, what denomination is it?
I can't tell.
Okay, say let's go ahead.
I was there to support.
Go ahead, do your thing.
So as I'm there, we sit in the front of my grandma, right? And I'm always say can be there for my grandma as much as I can. So we sitting there with our grandma, they doing their thing. It's a good thing, but we get there early. And this is just a little build up. They judging each other, playing around before we even like start the service. I'm like, yeah, this how we start now.
That right?
They talking shit about the drummer talking shit about the. I'm like, damn.
Already.
Okay. So the service goes and things are going good. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. It's going smooth. And one thing I care about more is what are you preaching to us? What is something
right.
we can leave with today and take it for the rest of the week and use it as like fuel to make us be better.
Yeah, right. Do your job. Do your job right now.
So we get to the point towards the end of like, is there anybody who wants to come down? We're already in the front. So instead of come down, she like stands up, like my lady at the time, and then like the pastor's wife, she kind of like, I don't know exactly what word she used, but it was basically praying over the body. She put her hand over her forehead, and she like basically like fell down. Now,
Who fell down?
my lady. Now, before I even continue, she's had a few episodes where like at that time she was like she fainted at like a Target or something 2 times back to back. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So to not really dive too much into her, I get up, right? And I'm being 100% honest with y'all. I'm not joking. I'm so serious. Like I said, she got up, she touched her, and she fainted, right? I'm like, okay, I'm supporting her. Let's just go with the flow.
Is she narcoleptic? Hey, that's what Snoop called that shit. Like that, is that Snoop that said the girl be going to sleeping on? Now that's Jay-Z. Said the girl be going to sleeping on hoes. Is she narcoleptic? What the hell? Cause she just be passing out? She just be passing out? God damn, y'all. I'm talking about.
Bro, the crazy thing was when she passed up at the Target we was doing a DoorDash order.
God.
We got the damn cash register. We
Oh.
did 2 things.
Okay.
I have to swipe the card and be out.
Right.
I scanned them. She like, Jared, I don't feel good. And just do. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck going on? I pick her up. 5 seconds later, I'm like, oh.
Them folk thinking he done did something to her. Them folk thinking he done did something to her.
I can't facts though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I'm very big on meditation, journaling, reading, and taking time to like calm myself down in any situation. Because you never know how shit can happen. And if you move with just emotion, that's more dangerous than somebody holding a gun. In my
Big
opinion.
fact.
So to go back to with the church, like I said, she touched her, she fainted, and then like it wasn't like faint like she just fell down. It was like they had people behind her to catch her. So it was like God, in a sense, was like allowing her to be supported by those around her.
That right?
I've seen
It gets to me. I get up and I'm a strong dude. I'm like 6'2". 6'6'2". You know what I'm saying? So she do it to me. I'm like, you gonna try to make me relax? I'm like, okay. I let my legs chill, but he's like, the dude behind me holds me, and I'm going down, and my legs are strong. Like my legs are very strong. They don't just fall down. So I had to like tell my legs, like, all right, bro, look, just chill. I know you don't want to go down, but just let yourself fall.
Hold on, you fell?
I did to support her, not because of the situation that was going on.
You're a strong young nigga.
I always wondered.
Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too.
And I'd be like,
Me too.
The big question.
Because here's the thing, like my biggest thing is like anyone who has wife, girlfriend, partner, whatever, you're as strong as her, in my opinion.
Okay. That's right.
You got to be there to pick her up.
That's
That
right.
means you have to follow her and pick her back up.
That's right.
So that's what I did.
Okay.
And
Oh, hold on. Can I get a clap for that shit right there? God damn. I'm talking about God damn. God damn. Hey, come on. Come on.
Appreciate that. Sad part is we never went back to the church. She went back to New York, and that shit's ended since then.
God damn.
I'm following with you.
Shit, God damn. Yeah, you had for Luke.
I could, man, but no disrespect to her if she sees us or not. I hope you're doing good.
Hey, look. Now, you know, just on some funny shit. What if she like, I don't believe this nigga failed.
I thought he was going to be like,
Right, like, I really let her push me down. God damn.
I'm gonna add a little tidbit because I'm big in the mental. I'm a Scorpio. And I'm not too much on the zodiac signs a lot, but I've read Scorpio shit, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
My girl's Scorpio.
So
Okay.
I'm big in the mind.
That right.
So when she's going through all of that, I'm processing everything. I'm like, okay, you just got up. She touched your forehead. There's people behind you. You fail. So that means you need support.
That right.
So if you need support, I guess I might have to just act the supporting role with
right.
you, you know. But yeah, that's my last story at the church.
Yeah.
Man, okay. I guess you say about 20, 24, 25, something like that. I'm up here to meet a girl. Can't even remember that. But you know what I'm saying? Bad was going to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
I'm gonna tell you.
go to church with her. And I guess you say who was hot then, Mariana.
That right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, B2K.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we go to church, they in there. It's a woman minister. And then whatever denomination of the church that it was, you know what I'm saying? There was another lady who I guess was the bishop or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She comes around, they in the service, they giving a little sermon or whatever. And the bishop comes out and had to stop the sermon. What the lady minister was preaching. And she brought out the issue that she heard that these parents, you know what I'm saying, have let their kids go out, like, all the little girls from the church to go out to the Omarion concert, and proceeded to say that in our congregation, if you truly going to be about the Lord, or you truly going to be about the gospel, how it was a long time ago, and continue to demean the girls that had went to the concert because everything was supposed to be about the Lord's music.
Right.
That right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then,
That right.
you know what I'm saying, reprimanded the minister, stopping like she was preaching. But I guess what was coming out of her mouth, she was like, oh, well, look, you in violation of this, and decided to bring it out in the middle of the church.
Wow.
I said, what kind of shit is this? Church changed like a motherfucker. This ain't what I'm used to.
Facts.
And I never, I like the girl, I just was like, she was real heavy into that.
Right.
And it just seemed to be like, hey, I saw it was some things that were red flags that I never paid attention to about how to act when I talk about shit. But when I went to a church, I ain't never even talked to her again. Like maybe like a little bit. Yeah, all right, yeah, I'm busy. I'm about to go downtown and play.
That right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you just realize, man, churches, people could twist that up into whatever they want.
And I'm gonna add a little bit to that. So one of my close friends I've been friends with for the past 6 years, he's Christian. And I'm cool with him and I respect him so much because he doesn't take the Bible and like directly to people and be like, this is what you should believe in. He's more of like, okay, I respect your point of view. Here's what I've learned from this side. Let's see if we could blend it together. And that to me is what I feel from the outside looking in, as I say this, how a Christian should be. Not judging someone based on their decisions, but respect their lifestyle as you have your own lifestyle. Like, why we gotta fight each other based on decisions and actions? Because that's taken away from the Lord, from God, because you're judging someone based on what they want to do with their life. Love them unconditionally.
Hear that? Get him off of that. Yeah, man. That religion shit crazy, man. Goddamn. Yeah, I feel you, and I agree 100 on that one right there. Like, the problem with all of them is they feel like their way is the only way. Whatever denomination that you choose, whatever, whatever religion it is that you choose, they all feel like that's the only way. And they'll argue with the next guy. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I told somebody one time. We was having this conversation. I said this. I feel like I'm a good dude. You feel me? And I feel like I pay it forward more than not. And I'm like, listen, and this was a conversation with somebody in my mom and them church. I was like, listen, I feel a certain type of way if at the time I used to drink and shit, stop my drinking, stop my smoking, stop cussing. Yeah, I mean, what they like you can't listen to the radio, can't listen to regular music. You gotta go to church all them times a week. I said, damn, that's the only way I can get to heaven. Yep. I said, listen, I'm gonna be highly pissed off. I get up here, I done stop doing all this stuff now, and lived y'all way, knowing damn well how I really want to live, you know what I mean? But I done sacrificed myself for the right of good. Then I get up here and see some more good niggas that I used to know that you understand me, I say, look, I'm gonna be a little hot because them niggas still got them, doing their thing, you know what I mean? They weren't no fucked up individuals, they still doing their thing, you understand me?
So I got a question for y'all.
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. So what do y'all, this is one of those deep ones. What do y'all view the afterlife as?
Oh man, afterlife. There can be so many things. People talk about heaven and how many different ways is supposed to be, from the virgins. You know what I'm saying, to the peaceful reunitement of your family and lost ones.
That right.
I mean, man, I'm gonna say this, and this honestly some real shit. My mom always, used to say people in hell want ice water.
That right.
My whole life, I figured that if I fuck up and I ain't gonna make it there, I literally have been figuring out how the fuck I'm gonna get motherfucking ice water to motherfuckers in hell when I get
there. That right. That right. That right.
You know what I'm saying? I seriously, since my mom said that when I was a kid, and I started hustling and learning that life is a hustle. I think I always wanted to, what I'm talking about, because I'm Biggie Small, suicidal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? When I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell. You know what I'm talking about?
That right.
I mean, if you listen to that whole song, y'all familiar with the song?
I'm a youngin' and I ain't take time to listen to it, so I'm
remember.
I know the song.
Right.
I know the song.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, like, I like black Timbs and black hoodies.
That right.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta probably have some real strict shit. No sleeping all day, no getting my dick licked. So I mean, when I think about it, I guess I ain't never really, until now, thought about being in heaven, because the standards are so high.
Right.
No matter where you are, the standards are high. I pray 5 times a day, never cuts, never do this, listen to this kind of music, listen to that. I really never thought I was going to be able to get
that. Right. That right. That right. Well, shit, I tell you now. So look, let me tell you some real shit. I got a partner here in past. Now I met this nigga doing some time one time. And the nigga asked me, we had a conversation about God, you know what I mean? And I was a lost nigga, you know what I mean? On that subject, you know what I mean? Even though the background I come from, right? Because I ain't trust that, you know what I mean? And the nigga told me, say, listen, read the book, read this right here, and then just tell me what your own understanding is. right? It's okay. And then have your own conversation with God. Create your own conversation, create your own relationship. He understand you, you understand him, and pretty much fuck what everybody else talking about. You know what I mean? So
True.
from that point on, right, that's how I start rocking, right? Okay. Now, your question too, when I get you to where I need you to go, I guarantee what done changed is your people, places, and things.
Right. That is true.
That's facts.
That's true.
I tell people all the time, that's the main thing that you got to change if you're trying to be great or trying to do something different. The first thing, I don't care what treatment program you're in, they're going to tell you people, places, and things, the first thing you got to change. Okay. Now, I feel like God will put us in situations, whether it be shit like that, a tragedy. For me, I feel like he kept sitting my ass down and making me go sit behind the wall, right? Okay. Now, I go sit behind the wall and a bunch of shit happens right here where I was at that I'm like, damn, partner get smoked right here in the hood. This is my partner. Like, and for those that know me, that know how, I rock, oh, we finna have some action about this shit here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Matter of fact, the way it even went down when he went down. You know what I mean? Like, no, everybody finna get fired up. We know. I ain't out there just standing around. No, I'm waiting to let this shit go. You know what I mean? So, okay, other niggas getting killed and catching other fucked up ass charges. That's way worse than the shit that I'm in here for. You know? I come home and shit different. Yeah, the niggas don't even call the neighborhood what I left them calling it. They call it something else now. You know what I mean? I left it. I was born and raised in Win, East Win. I came home. My little young partners call it the Dub. Now, I tell people I'm not from the Dub, but it ain't no knock on my young partners. I growed up in Win. Where they growed up at is totally different from where I growed up at the neighborhood. Even though it's the same streets and shit like that, that is completely different community. You know what I mean? Okay. But I feel like God would sit my ass down and take me out of certain situations for me boy, I'm trying to teach you something. And on this last bid I went on that I started in '03, that's where I met my partner that told me to get my own relationship. You know what I mean? And I came home and you see the finished product. We ain't tracking. You know what I mean? We ain't tracking.
See what it did to the whole neighborhood.
We ain't trapping. You know what I mean? Goddamn, because the goal is not to trap. That's the goal. You trap to not trap. See, when you watching young niggas, like especially famous young niggas, get a little paper and start affiliating yourself. Nah, I ain't green to shit. I do understand how some of this shit be bullying. Some of this shit, you know what I mean? Just because you got to move around in certain areas. I understand that too.
Protection.
Yeah.
Protection.
Protection.
I get that. I get that. You know what I mean?
And I can add on to that, like, I don't, growing up, I'm only 24, y'all. I'm not even, there yet. I'm halfway to 30. You can almost say that.
That right? Oh, young guy whippersnapper.
Being old. Over the hill, 30 years old.
Right. So, always, because, like I said, I do take time to, like, think about life, too, even on my own. And I sometimes think of that because I'm not affiliated, none, never have been.
That's a blessing, young nigga.
And I used to, because I used to watch movies like all kids who never was never part of it. I used to think about like, okay, what would that even be like? I got to a point because it's crazy. I've always been protected spiritually and physically. Never been affiliated. I'm always around affiliated dudes.
Right.
So I'm protected if anything goes down on any side. You know what I'm saying? I just never put myself in that position to get in that situation. And I like to say, like, I always, like, I understand from an outside looking in, like, why somebody would get part of it, because one, protection, and then guidance, too. Because if you don't have that around you at all,
Facts.
you gonna want it from somebody.
Facts.
If you young,
Facts.
like when you from 5 to 10 years old, you looking for something to become like. Like you want something to like. I want to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rather you, because you know every story you kind of hear the same thing. They flex you with the chain, nice car, nice clothes with the shorties. You know what I'm saying? They doing all that, and because that's the greatest thing they can physically see, they like shit. I'm gonna do that too.
I'm gonna call that the man in the house.
Right.
Well, a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, the man that we hear so much online, the man in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
that single parent household, you know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
It produces a bad product. But
that's facts.
But when you know what I'm saying, when you head out there in the street, if you don't have that strong figure to keep you in where you at, it becomes man in the house.
That's facts.
And I can tell you from like physical, like I told you, I've been around guys that's been like that. I've actually been able to like observe their relationship with their parents, observe like how they parents treat them, and I'd be like, shit, I get why. Because like I have a great mother, and she did a lot by herself. The greatest gift I can give to her in this world, she will never work again.
That's right.
I will make sure she will never work again. Me and my brother talked about this before I got here. That's what we're going to do. This is going.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? And not only she worked her ass off, she always would put us in a direction to where it's like, hey, you can do more than just this. I promise you. And then her dad grew her up. Like her dad built her to where she is.
Right.
So she gave us a lot of things, and we stayed with sports. Like I played basketball, football, and baseball. I could knock your ass out in any of them. Like I go crazy in any of them. Right. Talk. And I'm also smart. I wasn't I don't really brag about this or nothing, but like I was in a chess team when I was young, and like I was just fucking around with it. Like something to do. How I get the top 15 in like the state I was in?
First.
Yeah, right.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about just my opinion on hanging with affiliates and being affiliates. Okay. For the kids, now I really feel fucked up for the kids who live in the environment where the shit at. I really feel like the kids that see it on TV, that come venturing into the hood, thinking it's sweet. You know, I'm sorry, parents, but I don't feel sorry for them dumbass kids. You know what I mean? You know, because I ain't never felt sorry for somebody who wanted so badly to see what it felt like to have roaches in the house when you turn the lights on. You understand me?
Where I was at here, I ain't like, you gonna see.
Well, you know, I'm talking about, you know, coming up, man, you know, like, man, listen, man. I had the ages of 5 to 10 are detrimental for a child, just like you said. In my opinion, those are your learning, your most informational years is what I'm gonna call them, because this information can swing either way, right or left. Okay. Between 5 and 10, you can say my mama was a single parent, working a job, but she barely making, you know, a little bit past minimum wage probably. And I'm the man of the house because I'm the old. You live in the hood, you go outside, you know what it is. Yeah, you know what it is.
You have to be there.
Yeah. Right. Shit, you know.
Hey, hold up. I already cut this off because I'm thinking about it and I ain't said it. The people that you was around, you said you wasn't affiliated?
No.
But they always protected you?
Yeah.
They saw something special in you, and them was your true friends.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you something though. Let me finish this affiliate shit. Okay? Because, you know, I lived in the hood. My mama was a great mom, but I lived in the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm watching the shit that go on in the hood. I'm picking up all this information on what's going on in the hood. Hood is gangbanging. Shit, I'm gangbanging too, because that's what the hood do. You know what I mean? That's what the hood do. That's what you supposed to do. You know what I mean? You know the shit. Goddamn, you got on Nikes, British Nikes, shit like that. I got on church shoes. I want to change that. Shit, I'm seeing what people are doing to change those around me. You know what I mean? So shit, now, like, I ain't had the type of mama that I can bring the pack home and she understand, and I gotta hide this dope. My mama didn't know I was selling dope, man, till I was shit. Until I go to jail for it. She ain't know nothing I got going on until I go to jail for it. She don't know nothing about nothing until I go to jail for it. Cause I ain't got the kind of mama that's my son. So no, she ain't like that. You know what I mean? So it ain't that my mom was fucked up that had me doing fucked up shit. It was that I had done grew up in a fucked up environment and learned some fucked up shit.
Yes.
Regardless of her telling me that's wrong on what they doing, that's wrong on what you doing, you know, I'm doing it because this is the information I picked up in these information years. So now by the time my stepdad come along, which is the greatest dude that ever come along in my life, man. By the time he come along, I'm 10 years old, but I'm grown. In the hood, 10 years old.
You go, yeah. We was a whole different breed. Yeah,
Look at little King.
Shit at 10 years old.
Yeah, that's shit. Come on, man.
I do want to ask this before you continue, because I want to cut you off at all. Y'all gotta understand too. I'm 24.
Right.
Like, the biggest difference between ours and ours, we have more things that keeps us in the house, like music.
Yeah, see, y'all different. Y'all a different breed.
TV shows and all that. Y'all didn't really have that.
No. It ain't even that you. It ain't that you didn't have it, because we had Ataris.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We had this shit.
Nintendo.
It's just that.
Yeah, I ain't saying it like
No. Listen, what I'm telling you. It's just the times was different.
Right.
You were
100%.
outside. If your mama told you that you couldn't go outside, you had a goddamn panic attack. That's the worst thing you can hear. You can't go outside. Hey, listen, man. Check this out. What? Man, listen, man. Check this out. Go in and out your mama house too many times. Check this out. Hot as hell outside. On the weekends.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
And you keep going in and out this door.
Uh-huh.
She gonna tell you, you go in this house one more time, your ass gotta stay.
You gonna stay in.
Your ass want something to drink. That green water hose out there. You finna go turn that motherfucker on, go get you some water, boy. What you say? Hey, come on, I'm talking about, hey, look, what?
That you a hot
as hell. Shit, you're not going in the house, boy. You're not going in the house. Nigga be like, hey, cuz, go in the house. Boy, I'm not going there to get nothing.
We used to nail goddamn milk cartons up to the telephone.
Man, come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
We shoot out there, shoot
Come on,
ball,
man.
we find anything.
Yeah, you going there to the tree, man. You gonna do everything, man. You gonna do everything. You gonna walk around your neighborhood 100 times in one day. You gonna walk around that motherfucker 100 times. We gonna travel from 8th Street to 10th Street, what that is, probably about 6, 7, by 6, 7 Street. We're gonna walk back and forth between them motherfuckers all day. I'm not going home.
Or pick the furthest point. It's from 52nd Street. We're gonna walk down 46th Street Project. That's far as shit. Damn. But you're gonna see everything. Everybody that's hustling on this corner, everybody that's riding by, all the girls is at, you know what I'm saying? The basketball courts, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, I mean, and then it's like the next day, it's like, yo, you sitting outside, you on the porch, it's like, yo, where the fuck we gonna go? And that shit, it was do some dumb shit. We was slap boxing, you know what I'm saying, playing around, and that's where we gonna go.
Man, let me tell you how. I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
100%. I've had some.
Man, look here, man. I'm telling you on Saturday, something. I remember this shit like yesterday. But we just go to the rec, right? Goddamn, we're gonna be out here at the rec shooting balls, shit like this here. Cause on Sunday, we trying to fuck the big boys game up. So check it out. We out here early shooting balls. So we know by 12, 1 o'clock, the older niggas finna come out here and they really finna kick us off the court. You understand me? Yeah. But they gonna be player about it because some of us a little, you know, we 14, 15, and some of us can shoot a little bit. And them niggas at least let us, you know, if you call first, if you win 21, you get first shot. After that, you calling for who win the shot. So we working our ass trying to win 21. You know what I mean? We running around this motherfucker. We trying to win. If you know, you hit, you ain't hitting the play though. You're not hitting the play. No, you're not hitting the play. These niggas don't want to play with you. These niggas finna buy your down. Yeah, these all you big time, big homeboys that get some money, you know what I mean? Big T, back in the day, goddamn, what going on with your cousin? Big T, goddamn, he one of them niggas gonna buy you down, you know what I mean? Dog Head, what going on with your cousin? Goddamn, all these niggas I'm naming, some of my older partners. Dog Head gonna buy you down. Matt Bay, what going on with your Mac? Matt gonna buy you down, you know what I mean? I'm talking about shit. These niggas from my neighborhood that they really got their own little team. Kick, what going on with your cuz? Kick gonna buy you down, you know what I mean? Goddamn, and you can get your little money too. I ain't talking about no $10, $20, nigga. Cause if they don't hit number one, don't fuck around, let two young niggas hit 1 and 2. I got a little partner. What going on with your cuz? Biko, Lil Bam Bam. Hey,
I know he probably tell
man, my nigga, Lil Bam Bam, boy, when they, hey, listen, when that little nigga got them get out there car, he was a short old little nigga. And we was young, Bam younger than me. So Bam out here, he probably 12 years old, playing with grown folk. Bam will shake your ass to sleep though at 12.
Nice. What you doing?
But that little nigga cuff your ass and shake your ass to sleep. Niggas trying to buy these downs. You don't want these little niggas on the court. You don't want these little niggas in your way. You know what I mean? Now, if you ain't buying no down, you ain't getting no down bought. Them niggas got down, you know, they'll bless you. Here go $20. Go get me 10 Gatorade from the store. You know what I mean? Got them keeps chain. You know what I mean? You doing all kind of little shit. You watching the nigga bomb. You know what I mean? You know, nigga got them the gay. You got them $20, $30 to watch the bomb while I got them. He playing some ball. You know what I mean? You a young nigga on Sunday. It's you going to the rec to get your hustle on. You going to the rec to get your hustle on. You finna try to make some money off the goddamn big boys that's out here goddamn making they stomp in the hood. You know what I mean? Since I'm shouting niggas out, I shout my nigga Buck out. Buck come through the block, goddamn in the blue goddamn cutlet with the switches. Yes, that mean. I'm talking about these the niggas I'm looking up to. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, my nigga Lemonhead coming through the goddamn block with the goddamn white Monte Carlo with the goddamn Dayton's on it, with the peanut butter inside with the switches on this motherfucker. You understand me? Like, these the niggas that we looking up to. Now, some of these niggas I'm shouting out, you know, now they doing other things. My nigga goddamn Leon, big shout out Mr. V's, the barbecue spot down there in Columbus. Been goddamn doing anything for the last probably 15, 20 years down there, feel like. But, you know, good ass barbecue. Y'all down there in Columbus folk with the hummer. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, but these is some of the niggas that I watched coming up.
Right.
Shit, they watched somebody before them coming up doing the same shit. Like I was telling the young nigga here, cuz about know this, I'm talking about it wasn't the city. My neighborhood made 2020. That's how much dope they had. I live on Baldwin Street. That's where I come from. 9th Street made 2020. 9th Street and Benner Ave. That's the street right behind me. Right behind me. You watching this shit coming up. So, you know, I'm gonna tell you some funny shit and I'm gonna get him on the show too. I got a partner. Come from my neighborhood. Well, one of my closest friends, we was younger. Today, and it's the only nigga I can name like this, he a doctor. Now,
You work this way out.
nigga a doctor. But now I'm gonna tell you the difference. The part of the hood he live in, it's fucked up, but if you don't come outside, it ain't. His mama and daddy, I think his mama was a teacher, his daddy was a preacher. So, you know, he had, you ain't going outside fucking with. Like, he didn't hang outside with me. He was my buddy at school. But I would spent the night over his house, though, because we was classmates all through elementary, junior high, and school. You know what I mean? But he a doctor today. Now, I'm going to tell you some crazy shit. Me and one of my partners was on the phone the other day. That nigga said, cuz, you got to get some niggas on the show to tell some of them old stories, man. Some of them old niggas got them, you know what I mean? And I'm like, cuz, I ain't got no problem getting a nigga on the show to talk a little shit. But nigga got to have some motion today to be able to get some information out on you know, how to get to where you at today. Because I need, when I interview somebody, it's somebody that a younger cat look at where he at today and don't mind being him when you his age.
Ooh.
All right.
Hold up. I'm gonna have to have you up for that.
You feel me?
That
So I ain't into interviewing no famous people like that. You ain't got to be famous like that to get on my show, even though goddamn, you know, y'all can come through too. You understand me? Get a little show. But
facts.
I interview people that when somebody see me talking to you, they can pick up some information from you. And if they are older, you younger, you looking at that person and don't mind being that person when you're older
Right.
or a model of that person. Feel me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
goddamn. So this what I told my partner. This is why I brought that up. I told my partner this. I said, and we from the same hood, same age. I said, well, cuz, I tell you what, name one person from our hood that can tell some of these stories. Some old niggas, ain't talking about, you know, some old niggas that can tell these stories, that got some motion, that you ain't worried about getting locked up, telling that story today.
I can think of a whole bunch of stories.
What, get what? We couldn't think of nobody.
Right.
We couldn't think of not one individual
Man.
that could do that. You know what I mean? And hindsight 2020, I kind of sad. You know what I mean? You know, but that shit like motherfuckers don't understand it. That's where I come from. That's where I come from. That's just like I was telling one of my partners the other day. We were talking about, you know, some of the shit you lose when you get in trouble early. You lose the right to protect yourself, and motherfuckers don't understand how valuable that is. You get caught with a pistol today. I don't give a fuck if you've been living right for 20 years. If you got in trouble 20 years ago, and the only reason you had that pistol was to protect yourself, your ass is going to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about, I ain't even worried about I ain't even talking about no dope. You know what I mean? I'm talking about something as simple as a pistol in your car or in your possession that you keep to keep yourself protected when you're moving around. If you ever been in trouble, that's a felony. And that is fucked up.
It is.
And then my partner, he say, well, I got a pardon, go get a pardon. So I'm like, okay, cool. I understand what you're saying, homie. I do. But you got in trouble one time. Which one of my charges you want me to try to get them to pardon? Like, in one instance, I caught double digit felonies, just to put it that way. So, and that's the first time I got caught doing something. I went to Chang 3 times after that. So which one do you want me to try to get them to pardon? You get what I'm saying?
And the law, it do kind of mess it up, because even if they deem it to be a violent crime,
well, and then that's fucked up. And I got those too. That's what I'm telling my partner. I'm like, I had a violent, but you got in trouble one time. I got a violent, then I got all the other charges. Now I got the adult charges, but every time you got the adult charge, you got what? The pistol charge.
Right.
So I'm like, like, which one of these charges I'm gonna go and tell them I need them to pardon now. You know, like, let's be realistic. I said, cuz, I'm gonna be realistic with you. If you sat my paperwork in front of me, I wouldn't pardon shit.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it player.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm really a good nigga.
Yeah.
And I ain't fucking with nobody long as you ain't fucking with me.
100%.
You know? But the law don't see it that way. You know what I mean? But, you know, hey, it is what it is, man. That's how shit be sometimes. You know, goddamn, life be lifing, man. That's what they say.
Yeah,
life be fucking lifing, man.
Lifing, for real.
Yeah, that's what they say, man. That shit just be lifing, bro. I'm talking about shit.
I want to bring it back to, because y'all know we drifted off from that question. We just kind of build off that, you know what I'm saying?
All right, go ahead.
Because I wanted to give an answer as well as we, you know, diving all around stuff. And then we can get to the next topic, since you already smoking me, you know what I'm saying? My view of what the afterlife is whatever you believe it to be.
Facts.
Because, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, we got beliefs that we've made of ourselves because of what we've done compared to who we really are. You know what I'm saying? Like, underneath all of the things we built on, the core of us is still there. How much does that core of us believe into what we're doing in life? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I mean, okay. You want to go there and say, what is afterlife? Think about what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, I said, if it is hell,
mm-hmm.
people in hell want ice water. So my afterlife is going to be a place of opportunity for me.
Facts. My man.
I mean,
Hey,
you know
look.
what I'm saying? It's a place of opportunity.
Hey, man, you know what? I used to tell myself, you know, every day you don't know if you're going to come home. So, you know what I mean? I feel like every day something can happen to you or things do happen for no reason that sometimes be generally just fucked up. You understand me? I feel like you in hell right here. That when you leave here, you got to go somewhere peaceful. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, you know, but that shit you know, I mean, but some people just feel like the walk that you have to take to get where they trying to go, that's what you got to do. So I'm like, listen, man, I don't knock it, just don't knock mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, don't knock mine. I ain't forcing that on nobody. You know what I mean? I don't force my kids to go to church when they was little, none of that shit. You know what I mean? You know, we're gonna go every now and again, but I ain't even had you in no church no 3-4 goddamn days a week. You know what I mean?
Trying to teach you how to be a good person.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show you.
Good people, your blessings.
I'm just gonna show you. Why?
Karma somewhere. Karma missing in the Bible, the Quran. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's because karma is some real shit.
Yeah,
right.
like for real.
You know what I'm saying?
What you did, though, will come back.
Karma's a motherfucker.
100%.
I mean, if that man, all right, I'm gonna pose this question. All right, let's say we go back to before the Crusades.
Okay.
Crusades was what, 100 years? You know what I'm talking about? You know, like, it was like 100 years. But
Why, that's how long it lasted? That what you said?
Okay. But that's when Christians, we are familiar with the Crusades. Christians had their version of the Bible.
Right. It just took
They
over.
went out.
Yeah.
And which of course today it would only took a couple of days, but back then it took months to go out, find civilizations, learn how to speak their fucking language. You know what I'm talking about? And tell them that this is your God, and if they didn't believe it, they wiped them out. Wow! In the Crusades, they killed 1 out of every 8 people on the planet in 100 years.
What?
Look it up.
I did not.
You know what I'm saying? Christians killed 1 out of every 8 people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? From when the Vikings came and, you know, they decided that they were going to change and bring people back, you know what I'm saying, to their religion.
That right.
You understand what I'm saying? The crazy Christians went out and said, if you don't believe in this guy. So, let's think. The question is, all those civilizations that were there that did not want to conform to Christianity or the Bible, how many afterlives were wiped out? What, you know, like, what did they believe before the Bible? Before we narrowed it down to one thing,
well,
you know, or a couple things.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you something.
That is a great.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you something. I don't always felt like, you understand me? Like on some solid shit. What was what before we knew what this is? You know what I mean? Like who did our people pray to? Like goddamn, like, you know, I done heard, like I told you a long time ago, I'm a guy that know a little bit about a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So we know about Allah, we know about Yahweh, you know what I mean? I know about a lot of shit, you know what I mean? But what was what was his name? What did they call him in their language? Like, yeah, what did they call him in their language? And if it was a just one, or like like they praise, like Africans praised a lot of statues and things of that nature. So were they Buddhists? You know what I mean? Like what did they call who they called on when they needed prayer? Because they did a lot of that.
Thanks. Well, now to today with a lot of information that's going on now, the main culture that I honestly see outside of like the main like top 3, you got, you know, Christianity, Islam, and what's the other one? Judaism?
Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, right. Outside of them, I hear about the Ifa religion. Now that Ifa religion, like, there's a study that all the gods and goddesses part of that religion have the same powers and personalities as the same people in Marvels. The same gods and goddesses in Marvel.
They're right.
If you were to connect like their tendencies and their power, you could find, because the Ifa religion has over like 300 gods. I didn't even know that. I know about like 7 or 8.
They're right.
But there's a lot, because
the Greeks say about 10 to 20.
Exactly. And then the thing I've noticed, like, not only with reading, but, you know, like I said, I do meditation. So when you slow yourself down, you get more information from a greater source that is you too. But there's more to it. I ain't gonna get into that. Anywho, to get to the point, whatever they saw back in those days, and they understood the connection of it,
That right.
they gave it a meaning.
That they
That
did.
meaning became a manifestation of what we call now God.
That right.
But they had their own, like you said, their own religion, not religion,
Right.
a language to
Right.
what it is.
That right.
So that right now, I feel like, because I need to do my research on them, they're one of the many that's like before all of that. You know?
So now I got one for y'all. So everybody done posed a question. I got one for y'all.
And I guess I answered your question too.
Now you did. Do y'all think that Jesus them back in the day, I'm talking about Jesus the carpenter now, that hung with them but thieves and robbers. He was a gangster. Because you can't hang around them type of cats. That's what I mean. Man, come on, man. Cause you can't hang around them type of folks and you ain't making no noise. You understand me? And they ain't trying to do something to you. You broke too. You ain't like you got some money to give. You know what I mean? I'm talking about you broke too. You're a regular old carpenter. You hanging with some real gangsters. You understand me? Okay. Now, I done heard of, somebody talking to a burning bush.
Right, that's Moses' story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now just, I don't want folks to just think I'm just, just on some crazy shit, but I'm talking about some real shit.
Okay.
Cause gangsters, robbers, and thieves and shit like that, they drink alcohol.
Right.
They smoke reefer too. This shit come out the ground. So that means this shit was around back then.
Mm-hmm.
Shit grow out the ground. Ain't nobody doing that special.
Right.
The shit grows out the ground naturally.
The difference is now, and it's the adding to your story, just to get behind the scenes with marijuana, weed, whatever way you want to call it. It's from the ground one, and back then they smoked it, but also used it as lotion, oil, ointments. They used it in ways that actually helped their health.
Right.
Like that's it.
Everything.
Literally.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, homie. And folks might think I'm full of shit. But my back be hurting like a motherfucker, right? I got this cream that's infused with THC. Man, this cream, goddamn, some of the best pain cream I've had. Man, listen, homie.
It's from him.
It's from, nah, hell no. I done tried them.
Okay.
So we got one that's THC.
Yeah, this THC.
You hear about the remedies and be
Yeah, no. See, I'm gonna tell you something. See, I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but this is my opinion of it. That hemp is for people who can't really tolerate a high tolerance of THC.
Okay.
So it helps them with what they need. Hemp won't help a person who is used to real THC. You need THC.
Because of the levels of the healing is so low in hemp. If you started there, you'd be good.
There you go.
On top of that, it's probably the same thing with saying, but when you use the THC so often in the body, you get used to it. If you get something loaded, they like, what the fuck is this? I don't need that.
18%, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get something that's 12%, you like, what is that? You know what I mean?
Man, shit. Hey, look. Yeah, 18% you be mad. Shit, I bring the threats. Damn threats. We want that threats, man.
Man, what about to think all this time, man? What about God? You got a village. People 20,000 years before the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They lived in a valley.
Mm-hmm.
And the predators was over in the next valley.
Okay.
So when the thunder and the lightning happened that night, the old heads in the neighborhood told the kids, that's the guys mad at you because y'all trying to go over there in the valley.
That right?
You know what I'm saying? The people that live in it. I mean, I'm talking about simple.
Mm-hmm.
Way before all the shit got in the game.
That right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've all, we spiritual people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Listen, just think about it. We this simple. We ain't really, you know what I'm saying? We eating off the trees. You know what I'm saying? We just learned how to congregate.
Right.
And we don't need the kids over there with that shit that's going to bite you. So the thunder and lightning, that shit will get you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? If you go over there.
Fact.
And then, I mean, just think about that. You another 20,000 years of this changing, and you teaching your kids, and then them teaching their kids, and then they teaching their kids, until it got to the point where this person realized, if I change this up, before money, I can get bread.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell them that, you know what I'm saying, I because I can smell it in the air, because I realize that there is a smell in the air.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Before it rains.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That I can tell you, what I'm saying, that I can get bread.
Right.
Money ain't even here yet.
Right. Literally, like,
you understand what I'm saying? And people gonna build on that. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Right. And you go another 500 years. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
How many generations is that? A generation 60 years or something like that?
Yeah.
So you go another 500 years, you got 7. And then 3 generations after that, somebody realized, you know what I'm talking about, that, you know what I'm saying, that you had to calm down. Hyperventilation.
Well,
that's why somebody hyperventilated. You know what I'm saying? And then you had to calm down. The guys tell you this, you know what I'm talking about? When meditation began.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't all the fancy word for it. Right. We 3 generations away from trading bread.
Now, now I'm gonna tell you some gangsta ass shit. That's how it was. Mm-hmm. But everybody had their own language and their own way of doing it. And then somebody decided that they wanted more. And when they decided they wanted more, and they wanted you to convert to their way and get out of your way, you got to come this way. That's when slavery happened. Now, you turn around, now, that's like I tell people, we talk about all these problems that black people have. We have a whole ass load of problems, but we getting along with each other. You know what I mean? That's the biggest problem. We getting along with each other on some solid shit. But I don't know. You went through 100 years plus of generational just fucked upnism. That ain't even a word. That's just you can't even, you know what I mean? Like you got folks who say, you got some folks who really feel like the folks who stayed on the boat is fucked up, and the ones who jumped out the boat and into the water and drowned was the real gangsters. Mm-hmm. To not even go through what you had to go through. Cause I'm like this here, homie, on some real shit, and I feel like the only reason I had this opinion because I ain't live in them times, you know what I mean? I'm solid enough to understand that, you know what I mean? You couldn't tell me that I'm a slave and you whoop my ass and I got whips all on my back, you know what I mean? That ain't gonna never heal. But it's some folks trying to free you. Yeah, I'm gonna give you this gun. I'm gonna show you how to shoot, and you gonna kill their ass, so I can keep doing what I'm doing to you. I can't even imagine you telling me some shit like that right there. I'll beat my ass. I'm finna kill your motherfucking ass. What the fuck is wrong with you? Wrong with you? Don't understand me.
But all right, I'm you know what? You taking me right back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We just said that. You know what I'm saying? From with the religion.
It's
understand? Yeah. As time goes on, you learn how to throw shit in the game.
Right.
Then the people with TV, they telling us shit. They showing us shit. They have been. You know what I'm talking about? From the only thing you see blacks in is drug dealers. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying? This.
Right.
But nobody ever. But until later on, when nobody ever realized what they said in Boys in the Hood, we ain't got no planes, trains, or boats. So who bringing this shit there? But it was a way of manipulation to get what people want. Yeah. It's like, I think somewhere along the line somebody realized that I can get in front of this. Because when you hear people say now, oh, white folks, they got a 20-year plan. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Remember I just said how the boy realized they smell a certain way and they say that it's rain. Mm-hmm. So now he the weatherman. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
That if you look at, I mean, man, I don't even know how, you know what I'm saying, how free I'm able to be on this shit, but you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna say it. If you look at TV now, you know what I'm talking about, no matter what been around, you know what I'm talking about, you had all black men is gay, or either they, you know what I'm saying, or either they crazy as shit, you know what I'm saying, not worthy. If you look at the black women on TV that's doing something that's strong and powerful, every TV show they married to a white man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't. You understand what I'm saying? That's the manipulation. We look at it that way. It's TV,
right?
But way back then, you understand what I'm saying? Where all this started, the religion, you know what I'm saying? You could set somebody in a certain direction. We were talking about that earlier. You know what I'm saying? You have a kid, you know what I'm talking about? That you know be here, you know what I'm talking about? And they, you know what I'm saying, head out to be the doctor. You understand what I'm saying? And we think of this as circumstances. But motherfuckers, it's have been for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Knocking the ball the way they wanted it to go, like they playing pool.
Only certain people you done heard about that had that type of eyesight to do that type of shit, and that's just from the movies like Serena and Venus. Dad raised them to play tennis.
Right.
That's what the movies say anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, him in the pen. Okay. I know parents right now, you know what I mean, that work their ass off with their kids, going from here to there, doing sports. Just had a partner a couple weekends ago that I interviewed. Shit, been rocking and rolling with his son and daughter for years. Okay. I see that now, and people like him, that's all he knows. And he know a ton of parents just like him, right? Okay. But where I come from, I don't know a parent like that. Cause I don't know a kid like that. And where I come from, you had to down to be Michael Jordan. You had to down to have talents like Michael Jordan, that rare to be noticed to the point that where somebody is fin to say, hey, I'm gonna do this for you, do that for you, and they just keep it 100. They doing that because they see that it might be some benefit later on for doing this. You know what I mean? But where I come from, I can't recall a parent like that. Cause guess what? Where I come from, either you're a single parent household, your mama gotta work to take care of you and them ass load of kids that she got in that house, or you and the dad, her and the dad are there, but because y'all in the hood and they got minimum wage jobs, they still ain't got enough money to have your ass ripping and running from, I gotta go to Florida to practice and got a game down here in softball. No, the fuck you ain't.
Ain't no way in the world we going to that. I'm
Right.
raised in a single parent household.
Not when I was young, you didn't see that. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't normal. But see, the bracket of life that I live now, with the friends I have now, that's normal. You know what I mean?
That's an upgrade for real.
That's an upgrade for me.
Yeah.
But to them, that's normal because they don't come from where I come from. You know what I mean? I even know some partners. I even got partners from my city that I rap with, but still don't come from where I come from. You understand me? You know what I mean?
Same way.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this. I got locked up 14 years old. All right. Judge told my mom, said, I took the theft, carrying a concealed weapon, truancy, and a drug charge in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was 14 years old. Judge Reynolds asked my mom saying that crying. You know, this time, you know what I'm saying, you can step out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, he did. Judge looked at my mom crying and shit. He said, you know what I'm saying, Miss Marks, it's hard to raise a kid on 52nd Street, ain't it? Like, that's a really rough area. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you know what I'm saying, I commend you. You know what I'm saying, that he's making this, I was 14 years old. He about to put me in jail for 18 months. But do you realize that's when I realized I came from a fucked up spot? I thought the shit I was saying was normal.
That right.
Don't motherfuckers come out the bar and you finna tell me you're like 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't jump out the window, motherfuckers shooting across the street at each other and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me, you know what I'm saying, your uncle, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean, that's in a wheelchair, you know what I'm talking about, from robbing the motherfucking Geno's.
Yeah.
Him, you know what I'm saying, him and his best friend decided to give up the gun. Your uncle decided to run out this motherfucker shooting this shit. You know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm talking about, when you get the wheelchair, you sit down on the porch, he mad because he want to get a dry cleaner from across the street. I offer to take him down the steps, you know, in Philly, you know what I'm saying? We got the steps in front of the house. I offer to take him down the steps. He get, you know what I'm saying? He like, man, the hell nah. And put the 22 off from up under the wheelchair and motherfucking drop the goddamn window in front of the goddamn cleaners.
Right.
I didn't know that was fucked up until I was 14.
That right.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, that was what was normal to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up in West Philly, Black Mob. You know what I'm saying? After the Black Mob, they kids. You know what I'm saying? They, you know what I'm saying? That was JBM, and them was the niggas I learned from.
Yeah,
They
right.
wouldn't let me do anything. You know what I'm saying? The kid, you know what I'm saying? Just would, you know what I mean? Benzes, 300 CEs, Saabs, drop tops, BBSs, Jeeps, you know what I'm saying? This all the shit. My mom couldn't get what I went on my step pop, you know what I'm saying, when allowed because I wasn't doing what he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I used to go over there. Them was the niggas who put the clothes on my feet, but wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, let me do shit.
Right. Right.
Even though I learned after they was gone, you know what I'm saying? When the feds came through, you know what I'm saying, knocked all that down, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They, this is what I wanted to do. You couldn't tell me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I wanted to be when I was a kid, was a big time drug dealer.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So,
No.
but I didn't even realize that I was in the fucked up. Like, that was the first thing that made me think is when the judge said that to my mom.
Right.
Fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Then, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, you know what I'm saying? Got my GED, you know what I'm saying? Went out and I went to Wilberforce University. I kicked the fuck out. But you know what I'm saying? But the counselors, you know what I'm saying, about at the school, you know what I'm talking about was, it's a lack of facility called Slayton Farms. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, juvenile shit is.
Right.
You know, in cottages, you know what I'm saying, all this
Right.
and all that. Took my GED, the counselors sent me, you know what I'm saying, to college. You know what I'm talking about? It was a state program. There were 4 of us. You know what I'm talking about? But be it as it may, when I got to college, y'all know I didn't even know, you know what I'm talking about, that you had to buy your fucking books. I ended up at Wilberforce University back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You go in the gun store, you know what I'm saying? How much is these? You know what I'm saying? Jensen 9mm. Oh, they're $100. Nigga look over at you like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga can forward them all. They can forward them. We was driving from Ohio to New York. The trade motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, about weed, you know what I'm saying, about, they come back, you know what I'm saying, they have money to get through college.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, so, man, getting to this point, it's like, we don't even know, you know what I'm saying, about that shit, where we come from, and you know what I'm saying, how you look at shit, we don't even really understand what that do to us, but you know what I'm saying, like I told y'all at the beginning of this, I'm trying to learn how to realize what's not the hustle. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying, even though I'm up here, you know what I'm saying, for a long time.
Right.
I'm 29 years into working. I got a career.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I still don't realize that it's not, you got to hustle this, you got to hustle that. Everything ain't survivable. That's what I said when we came into the show. Like, I'm trying to learn how to love what I have. I'm going on vacation. Like, why am I cashing in vacation? I'm still, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're supposed to take that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's like for I've been caught in that. You gotta get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what going back? What set that into play?
What set that into play?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what set that into play?
Like I said, I don't know everything, but I feel like it goes back to, I think what I said, like probably like 20, 30, maybe an hour ago. I said, when you see something that's fly, that's something that makes you excited, no matter what it is. It could be TV, in person, it could be whatever. You could hear it. If it makes you want to be like, I want to do that because you think of all these reasons, you get attached to those reasons, and you become what you are attached to because of the reason.
That's right.
So, like, for me, my journey, right, I didn't decide to want to do that because I just never found like this is something I feel like I want to do. I went to Beasley Academic Center. For those who don't know, Beasley Academic Center is a school Derrick Rose went to when he was in elementary school. Derrick Rose was he was my hero growing up. Right? I had my dad around, but parents separated. I was like 11, and like it was like a song one day a week type of thing. And our relationship's still cool, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? He you feel me? So it's one of those like whatever excites you and makes you want to become greater than where you at right now, that's what you're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it started. You know what I'm saying? That's how it all starts. And no matter what age it is, when you see something, you like, shit, I got out of it. Do it. Fuck it, I'm gonna be it.
Man, you know what though? That's what we go back to what I said when we first opened this up. That's where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get all that shit, you realize don't none of that shit even motherfucking matter.
Facts.
That right.
I went to a comedy show fucking a week ago. 48. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing 50 doing too. You know what I'm saying? And and it's crazy because I'm 50. But I be, you know what I'm saying? Got the gear, got all your shit together. You know what I'm saying? You put on your goddamn gators and shit.
That
You know what I'm
right.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
That
Put on
right.
your button up. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the joint with beautiful woman and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, my woman. And, you know what I'm saying? This motherfucker, you walk in that motherfucker. And I was like, yo. Everybody in there, you know, because of the I guess you say, you know, Samoa and all of them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? DC Curry, all, you know what I'm saying? The show, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, when I'm up in the zone, I'm like, ain't nobody really even giving a fuck about none of this shit no more. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in that motherfucker with like, don't worry, we happy sweatsuits on in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They cooling. Niggas, you know what I'm saying? Coming from business casual work. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying, even dressed up. And I looked at that shit and I was like, do you realize that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? No nobody really even give a fuck about this shit no more. Like, all this shit, you know what I'm saying? You worry, you know what I'm saying? You worry about, you know what I'm saying? All this, you know what I'm saying? Benz and all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, I look at all this shit. And I'm like, man, that shit is stupid, man. The break job is like fucking $1,400.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything else do the same shit, but we still stuck on, you know what I'm saying, business. And we still stuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Man, I definitely I feel that 100% because like I'm weird from everybody that I really know because I didn't think of that at this age where most people at this age don't.
that's the difference.
So see, like yes, I've made mistakes. Yes, I fucked up, but yes, I've had I've had to get where I wanted to go. You feel me? So it's more like I want sustainability, not like flash and see me type of thing. I want something that lasts a long time, that's generational. You feel me? Instead of just something that's just like, you know what, I would spend all my money here. Shit, I'm good. I can make it back. Instead of building what you have and spending better with what you want to, like I said from earlier, get attached to. So that's, I 100% agree. 100% agree. I don't fuck
That
with
right.
extra shit.
That right.
Do you your generation is all the way different? Y'all some smart motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Big up to that. Y'all some smart motherfuckers.
That right.
appreciate
You know what I'm saying? But when we were talking about the trajectories, like, you know what I'm saying, things change. You know, if our people, you know what I'm saying, learn about bankruptcy, you know what I'm talking about, and learn about playing the game, what talk credit. You know what I'm saying? We just come, y'all a little more hip with it because y'all hear it.
Yeah.
But they still ain't teaching that shit.
it.
You know what I'm saying? So when everybody get good with that, when everybody got, you know what I'm saying, learning, okay, boom, fucking up or messing up or coming into financial hardship, you know what I'm saying? When we learn, you know what I'm saying, you get out of places. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody learn that they can put their house in bankruptcy. And that you can save your assets that you pass down to your kids. This was knowledge that only certain people had.
Wow.
When the loophole became big, Bush, when he was going out of office, one of the last things he did was sign the point to be able to put your home, you know what I'm saying, inside of your bankruptcy. You can push the past due amount. You understand what I'm saying? But you can't put the house so that it can be paid off, you know what I'm saying, in chapter 13. And then you own the asset.
Mm-hmm.
So we just now feeling what it is for people to come into and worry about recession. Because now everybody worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
30 years ago, ain't nobody know what the fuck, no recession.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, nobody knew about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? As soon as everybody started learning about it, they hit the pool ball. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, we was talking about the parents, like what you do and stay on your kids.
Right.
That's just the cut. To actually, you know what I'm saying, deflect to make the shot to deflect the pool ball. That shit starts way back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you understand what I'm saying? It's like they, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers sit there and learn how we gonna change history. It's only a certain amount of things that can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, from this shit.
Right.
I mean, y'all understand what I'm
That's
saying? Like, is it the way that you thinking, the way, you know what I'm saying, when your whole generation and when you start teaching your kids and everybody gets smart and they learn about generational wealth and they learn about all the, you know, about the stuff that's being talked about on the internet, ways to have your insurance policies and how to borrow money from the insurance policies, all that shit. When that shit gets popularly known and your generations get the hang of it, you know, so when they gonna hit the pool ball somewhere else?
Shit, they already She
Like thanks for the question.
now I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, his generation already got it. Get what they call it? Scamming. Boy, them young niggas done took scamming to a whole nother goddamn planet now with all the type of shit they goddamn these young niggas know with these computers and all this old shit. Man, niggas say you give him a laptop, goddamn, and a phone from Walmart, them little $10 phone, he can go to work. Right. I said, God damn, got to be more careful. But I'm gonna tell you this right here, cuz and we're gonna goddamn close out these goddamn on the answers in the blue room on this one right here. You know what I mean? All right. I think tonight was a good conversation, you understand me, for somebody to pick up from anything as far as religion, you know what I mean, business, you know what I mean, growth, especially with, us talking about from past to present, because my nigga goddamn just told us he been on his career for 29 years, he doing his thing, and he don't cash in his vacation no more, he taking. And I mean, that big business, because, the Peez that I heard when I originally heard the name, it damn sure wasn't talking about no 401k.
It's really facts, big facts.
So for that, I congratulate you, my nigga. You understand me? It's always cool to fuck with you. You understand me? So,
young boy, you man.
Yeah, man. They my young boy, goddamn, Jared, man. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, I fucks with the team, man. The homie goddamn a big part of the campaign. You know what I mean? He a very smart young dude. You know what I mean? That's why I fuck with him. You know what I mean? But this episode 4, man. We sure appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I hope y'all picked up some good information, man, from the squad. You got my boy Peez from the Philly, man. West Philly at that came in, man. Throwed and touched in on a lot of topics. You got your boy Jared in here, man. You heard the music in the background. Y'all tune in. Y'all can check out my boy. Y'all know you got your boy 6 in the building, man. Another run, man. You understand me, man? We in the building, man. Answers in the blue room. Keep fucking with the team. We're gonna keep fucking with you. Holla at us, man. We got work to do.
Early in the morning, thinking about a check. I got mail to get.